Did I ever tell you about the man who could tell a difference between an alcoholic and a casual drinker? I have not told you that? Well, there's two men that go into a bar, and one man says to the other one, I know how to tell an alcoholic from a casual drinker. The man said, well, I don't believe you. He said, well, watch this. So a man came and sat beside him and ordered a drink, and he got up to use the restroom, and while he was gone, the man took a dead fly and put it in the guy's drink. When he came back, he looked at the drink, and he said something nasty to the bartender, and he left. The man said, he's a casual drinker. And then another man came to order a drink and went to the bathroom, and the guy put a dead fly in his drink, and he came back and took a big swig of his drink and pulled out a dead fly, and he cursed the bartender and left. The man said, he's a casual drinker. And a third man came in, he sat down and ordered a drink, he went to the bathroom, they put a dead fly in his drink, and when he came back, the man looked at the fly and picked it up and said, spit it out! He was an alcoholic. Okay, we'll start with occupancy. I changed the format a little bit to make it more confusing than it was before. Independent living, as of Friday, the 27th, we had 316 that were occupied. Our budget is 320. We were 4 unfavorable to budget. We have 4 people with 20% deposits down. We have 10 people who are in the application process. They've reserved something, but they haven't gone 20% yet. There are 10 that are available that don't have a name on it.
10 units?
Yes, 10 apartments or cottages total that are still available for someone to put their name on. That leaves us 93% occupied and 97% occupied and sold. Does all that make sense? This is the important number, but this is the leading indicator. In assisted living, we have 40 that are occupied as of Friday. Our budget is 38, so we're favorable to budget by 2. We don't do 20%, so we have 1 that's reserved. We have 1 that's available, 42, so we're 95 and 98%. In memory care, there are 18 that are occupied. The budget is 18. We're at the budget. We have 2 that are reserved, and so we are 90% occupied, but 100% occupied and reserved. And in healthcare, as of Friday, there were 55 accommodations that were occupied. The budget was 54. We're favorable to budget by 1. Then we don't do 20%, so we have 2 that are reserved. We have 3 that are available. There are a total of 60, which puts us at 92% occupied and 95% occupied and reserved. Well, that clear as mud? Okay. This is an important number because this helps keep our fees down. When this is good, then all is well. So we're going to turn this number around. In June, we have 4 people that have stated that they're going to move in June. In July, we'll have 3 people move in. In August, Patty's telling me 7. I'm not sure I believe 7, but it might be 5, but it's a good number. If people move out of independent living at a rate of 3 per month, which is about average, we'll have a gain of 5 if all those people move in. And this negative number will go away. So it's good, it's a good report. I wrote this down because someone has asked me to break down the apartments and the cottages from what's occupied and what's available, and I meant to do that, and I just didn't have time to do it. So I left it as a note for myself to remember to do it next time. It's not typically how Cedarfield has reported the numbers, and so we have to find a mechanism to get them reported. And I just didn't have time to get deep into it. From a COVID perspective, we have 2 independent living cases today. We have no cases in assisted living. We have no cases in healthcare. This morning we had 2 team member cases, and this afternoon I learned of 1 other. So we now have 3 team member cases and 2 independent living cases for a total of 5. And we should still be showing the totals on 974. Okay, so everyone's informed about that. Under the heading of construction, we're currently we're currently renovating and creating a rehabilitation household. It's underway. It's on the 4th floor of the healthcare building. It's going to wrap up around November. And as you know, as a part of this, 10 rooms in assisted living have moved to the 4th floor household building, the new building, and they'll move back sometime in September. And at that time, another 10 will move. Because of the renovations in the rehab household, there is a shut-off that's been scheduled for tonight. It's an unfortunate shut-off. The cooling system is going to be disabled from 7:30 p.m. tonight until 12:30 a.m. in the morning. And what's happening is the cooling system, I think as you all know, is driven by water. Water runs above our heads and all around all the time. And each one of the air units is a water source heat and cooling pump. So it takes this heat and cooling from the water that's going through the system. And so that water has to stop, and we have to drain the whole system so that they can repair some valves that are in the healthcare building. And so that means the whole system for everybody, other than the cottages, will stop at 7:30 tonight. It's unfortunate because it's summer and it's hot outside, but we believe that, we hope that as the sun goes down, and the building will hopefully be able to keep a reasonable temperature for those few hours that the system will be off. But it'll come back on, and to my knowledge, you don't have to do anything, but it'll come back on about 12:30 tonight. They'll refill the system and turn the pumps back on, and the water will start to run again. I wrote a memo to everyone today that should be distributed to you, or will be distributed soon, explaining this and making a suggestion that you may want to reduce the temperature in your homes about an hour beforehand to a place that it's a little uncomfortably cold, so that you're starting in a low place, and if the temperature rises during that time, it'll still be comfortable for you. So I would personally suggest that, but it's up to you if you'd like to do that. Under the heading of projects, the generator, nothing's really changed. They're still doing their drawings for the capacity and the pathways. There are some other projects that we still need to do. Nothing has really changed about this. I'm having a meeting next week, I believe, to try to figure out how to get the lobby and that project back on track. We're having some initial meetings about the fellowship hall, because that's slated for this fiscal year too. And so I'd like to get both of those done if I'm able to during this fiscal year. And so we'll be talking more about that. But the main thing is the lobby's already ready. The furniture's arrived. It's in storage. Let's finish it out and be done with it. And then let's move on to the fellowship hall. I put the secret garden there because it's something that we keep hearing a lot about. And the secret garden is not at the very top of our priority list. It is important, but it may become an opportunity for people, if people want to do it more quickly than our budget process would allow. It may be a philanthropic opportunity for some folks, if they're interested in that kind of thing, to help make that go a little quicker than it might before. the feedback that we're getting is, hey, my loved one lives in assisted living and they're looking out over something that's not very exciting to look at. And so we would really like to make it a little nicer, but we have a few things that are just a little ahead on the priority list in the secret garden. But there may be philanthropic opportunities. Third and fourth floor carpet. We had planned an early June installation. I reached out to the gentleman who's doing it on Monday when I was here, and he emailed me back and said there's a production problem. He's trying to get to the end of it, so I now am not certain when the carpet is going to be installed. He's supposed to get back with me as soon as he knows something. So hopefully I'll know something soon and I can communicate that to you, those affected by memo. I'm not surprised because durable goods like that are just very, very in very high demand, and production is not able to keep up with demand. So I'm not shocked that they didn't meet what they told me they were going to do. But it's coming as soon as it can. Third and fourth floor carpet. This is a new topic for us. It's CARF. Some of you all who've been here for more than 5 years remember talking about CARF 5 years ago. CARF is the Center for Accreditation of Rehabilitation Facilities. And it, oddly enough, is our accrediting body here at Cedarfield and for all continuing care retirement communities. CARF is a multi-service international accrediting body. They have a presence in Canada and in Europe. They're really a big deal. And so you wonder, well, why is something with the name rehab in it surveying and accrediting continuing care communities? And the reason is that some time ago I died somehow. Do you have any idea what might have happened?